are moments where you just need to let the car do the talking. This is one of them.
Because for you to have been a first-time Ferrari customer and to get this
back from the ground up,
that's special.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to Ron's Rides. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video where I'm here in Orlando, Florida with something very special behind me here today. And there's a story behind it. We'll get to that in just a moment, but there's not too many times we get around the prancing horse for Maranello. And this one is going to be a special one here today with the F8 Spider, as you guys can see, and Bianco Italia behind us. We'll get more into the spec in just a moment. Go for a quick drive, see what this thing is all about, hear the story about the car, and just put on those smiles per miles that we do when we get into these Italian monsters. So with that said, let's get right to it. Now dropping the top in action. Doesn't take long at all, and check that out. That is the pinnacle of style and flexing and flair. Wow, that is beautiful. So beautiful F8 Spider, and we haven't been around any of these for the channel, but this is a good way to start, and the expectations are now through the roof for this thing. This Bianco Italia paint looks gorgeous. Check this out. Obviously, here in Orlando, Florida, paint actor is going to go to the sun. Best Academy Award for showing off this paint so well. Obviously, the Ferrari shield there with the prancing horse. You will see that we have the air ducts here, and obviously that's for cooling with the honeycomb grill setup, LED headlamps as well. You guys can see the running light, which is down here on the lowers, and then you have the flaps on the side with honeycomb grill feed-through right there for aerodynamics right up front. And then obviously the hood, I want to say the hood scoop here, this is definitely going to be for extra aero and downforce, pushing that air right up top, but also giving it a very aggressive look up front. It looks super mean from the front end, but then the side profile is incredible. Check it out. Big Ferrari shield in yellow, looking phenomenal to match with the Ferrari logo right there in the center cap with the prancing horse, black wheels, red calipers with the Ferrari strip, and we have carbon ceramic brakes. That is a big flex right there. Sitting on Michelin tires, this is going to be able to hold you to the road with that 211 mile per hour top speed. Now coming to the side profile, you guys will see the curvature. All right, you will see the lines, you will see the aerodynamics, you will see how this car really puts the power but also downforce down and actually makes this thing work. So you guys will see the flap right here as well on the lowers with the curvature and the door paneling here going into the feed through right there. Obviously that's going to be for cooling. Then you have the carbon fiber ducts here right on top with the honeycomb grill with it. You have the door handle that even has curvature and aerodynamics. Everything is a function here, not just there for show. You will see that we also have right here where the convertible top will go down. Well, we have the carbon fiber side blade there as well. And then coming along the side, you will see the haunches in the rear. You will see that whole aggressive look, and then you'll see the reflector right there as well. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. Now, obviously, the rear is going to be one of the most astonishing pieces of this art on wheels because of the fact of what it does. This is a convertible top, so a lot of moving parts here, but it doesn't take away from the styling. It doesn't take away from the functioning. And as you guys can see, this looks great with the carbon fiber on each side with the gills here for extra cooling. All this is honeycomb grill with the Ferrari badging right there in the center and the shark fin antenna right there. You guys will see also the window there, obviously to help with the wind noise when you do have the roof down. Now you guys will see their brake light here with obviously extra aero there with the carbon fiber and the prancing horse right there in the middle. We have our tail lamps with the red surrounds and obviously the clear inners, and then more cooling with the honeycomb grill setup here for breathing. And then we have the aggressive rear diffuser you guys will see with dual exhaust tips done in black. We will hear those in just a moment, make some noise, but man, I think the rear is my favorite part of the F8 Spider. So when you mention dimensions for the F8 Spider, you're looking at a wheelbase of 104.3 inches. You're looking at a length of 181.5 inches with a width of 77.9 inches and a height of 47.5 inches with a curb weight of 3,550 pounds. And of course, we do have a front. As you guys will see, 7 cubic feet of space when it comes inside. And this right here will let us know our complete spec of the F8 Spider. Now, I will put a picture up as well so you guys can see specifically what we have here today. Then we didn't talk about all of the spec and get all of the options here, but as you guys will see, we have Rosso Ferrari for the interior and Bianco Italia for the exterior paint. 7-layer paint. This thing is completely gorgeous, but we will see that full spec list. I will leave the pictures up there for you guys to see. When you talk about the F8 Spider, well, you're talking about a aluminum block and head direct fuel injection V8 engine, which is twin turbo and 32 valves. Now, that's going to mean a horsepower of 710 with 567 pound-feet of torque and a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Now, that's going to take you from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds with a 0 to 100 mile per hour time in 5.3 seconds, a quarter mile in 10.2 seconds, and a top speed of 211 miles per hour. Now, when it comes to fuel economy, well, it is a V8, so fuel economy is going to reflect that. So we're looking at a combined city and highway, 16, 15, 19. That means 16 combined city and highway, 15 for the city, and 19 for the highway. So don't think I forgot about the interior. Before we go for a quick drive, we're going to do a quick run through, but we'll talk more about it once we're for that drive. I know you guys just want to hear what this thing sounds like and get the full story. But as you guys can see, beautiful bucket seats, Rosso throughout, Bianco. The inserts are crazy in Alcantara. Look at the horse. And then the flat bottom steering wheel, carbon fiber, the Italian flag there, Italian flag up top. Obviously the RPM indicator. I mean, this is beautiful. The Tricore on the buttons there for reverse, auto, and PS. This is all so lovely. We'll talk about this, we'll break this whole thing down. I just wanted you guys to see it up close before we go for that drive. There are moments where you just need to let the car do the talking. This is one of them. You can hear that 700 plus horsepower V8 behind us here today. I am here with the man himself, Normal Guy Super Life, on Instagram and YouTube. This is his beautiful F8, and we met each other 2 years ago, I want to say. Was it 2 years?
It's been a little over 2 years.
Yeah, a little over 2 years ago at the Ferrari Maserati Central Florida store, and I'm gonna take a lot of pauses, awkward pauses, because I'm gonna be listening to that. Not too often you get a chance to have the top down on a Ferrari and hear that beautiful symphony. Oh my God. All right. But back on track, we met each other because he saw me doing my thing and filming cars at the dealership. And obviously we share similar interests. So he approached me and we got to chopping it up, and he told me while he was there, specking out your beautiful F8, right?
Yes, yes.
And at that point, did you have it already picked out, or were you kind of working on some of the minor details, or what was it at that point? Do you remember?
By the time we met, I don't know if I had already done all the final spec. I just remember it took 2 years.
2 years.
From the day that I ordered it to taking delivery was 27 months. 27-month wait time, and not only to have the
well-being and means to get into a Ferrari, but it's not just a process to where you go pick one up off the lot. I know a lot of people get that misconceived. It's a process, and it's definitely worth the wait, but it's not something to take lightly. This is a whole experience. This is not just a car that you're buying. This is something that you're investing your money, time, and worth into, and passion for the most part, and that's where we get the spec and how you expect everything today. There was a meaning behind it. So what made you go with the specific spec?
Like you, white and red is my thing. So I have a white Ghibli with red and black interior.
Okay, all right.
So clearly we got a lot.
Yeah, yes.
And I wanted to kind of keep that theme. For me, there's nothing like a white car. And while yes, it's a Ferrari, but I didn't want red, didn't want yellow. I don't want something that's in your face.
Right.
It's not about being flashy for me. It's more subtle, refined, and that's kind of how I navigated the supercar lane, so to speak. So my original love was Aston Martin. I said I want an Aston Martin DB9.
Okay.
If you know anything about me, suit and tie, I carry a gun, I'm Black James Bond. Right? I travel the world, I'm Black James Bond. That's what I want. I need an Aston Martin. I met a guy that was driving a DB11. I said, man, I really want that. I want that. And my kid in the candy store, and he's like, what do you drive now? BMW 3 Series. He's like, no, keep your head up. Like, why do you drive that car? Well, gas mileage. No, dude. Why do you drive that car? Because it's like driving, it's perfect. I said, when I drive that, it's almost like being back on my motorcycle.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're in the two wheels. Yeah. What do you do? Well, actually, I'm an amateur racer. I had my race license. My friend, you don't want to be in an Aston Martin. This is for an old man whose wife won't let him have a real car. You need to be in a Ferrari. And literally, I left that spot and I went to the Ferrari dealership. And that's where, that day is when I met Candido, my sales guy. This conversation happened in 2017. So it was like January of 17 when I first met him. I originally was just shopping for a Ghibli, but you can't go get a Maserati without walking into the Ferrari.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
They do. My Ghibli ended up not coming from him, but I wanted to make sure that when I was ready for it, he got the sale for the Ferrari. Talking to a gentleman who said you need to be in a Ferrari. Later that day, I met my Ferrari salesman. Ended up getting the Ghibli first before buying this.
Okay.
But it was about establishing a relationship, and we came to an agreement that day that anytime that I was in town, because I was visiting, I'd come see him just to learn more about it. And as we got to the point of, I think I'm ready for it, because as you mentioned, right, there's kind of levels to it. Like, there's a progression to this. Hey, dude, I think I'm ready for my first Ferrari.
Yeah, it's a big statement.
Yeah, it was, all right, 360, because one of my coworkers was like, bro, it's not that hard to buy a Ferrari. Like, everybody makes this big deal about it. You don't have to get the brand new thing. Okay, cool. So from 360 to, now I kind of want a 430.
Yeah, yep, that's the next one up.
Man, that 458. And then I drove the 488. That was my first time driving a Ferrari. I rented one.
Okay.
And I fell in love. And I'm like, you know what?
Easy. 458 was one of the best Ferraris they've built.
And then it was, oh, and it's a Spider. Now
the Lamborghini Urus wanted to show us up. Luckily, we're having a conversation, so that's another day.
That's why I'm not a fan of Lambos.
Yes.
But anywho, yeah. So I rented the 488, and it was can this be my normal life? I remember the feeling of, like, I was in Miami. I remember the feeling of pulling up to places and folks looking at me like, "You're not a rapper, did I?"
Right. Who are you? What do you do?
Way too small to be any type of professional athlete. Who are you?
Right. You're put in a box automatically.
Yes. Right?
Comes with the territory.
And that's kind of where the name Normal Guy Super Life came from, because I'm just a regular dude. Right? There's nothing special about me. I found a niche. I do what I can to make the most of that, and really that's it. But you're not going to see me on TV, or maybe because of this, maybe, honestly, to be appreciated. But prior to this, right, nobody knows who I am, right? I'm just an average dude. And you know, when I finally got to this, I went to Candido and, hey man, I'm ready. It's like, for the cost of a used 488 Spider,
Stuck on F8?
it's like, you might as well just get an F8. I'm like, what? I can't afford a new one. It's like, with COVID, the cost of everything has gone through the roof. When you were looking at the 458, how much were you expecting to pay? And I was like, you know, maybe like 150. Yeah, those are now 200.
Wow.
Oh.
COVID shot everything up.
Yes. So that 488 that you were looking at, that was low twos, that's 300. The Spider's gonna be probably mid threes. So like, for that, you might as well just go new F8.
So you decided F8.
Yes.
Okay, so then what was the process like of, okay, now I'm speccing out my new Ferrari?
So it was pay the deposit. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll call you back sometime. You'll know. Answer the phone call.
It was 2021, so Europe is still reeling from COVID. So Ferrari's behind.
Oh.
I also learned last year, the Ferrari factory shuts down for the entire month of August every year.
They do, yes. Yep. August, so I mean, that'll be next Thursday.
So,
yeah.
How much production time did you lose in 2020? And then if you started back up in 2020, you still took that month off.
Right.
So you're really far behind. So I want to say it was probably 7 months after I paid the deposit.
It actually went through?
I was in town. No, so the allocation was good.
Okay.
I was getting the allocation. I was in town, went and specced it out, and just sat and was like, okay, what do you want to do? I know I want white. I know I want red and black interior. Okay, well, what about these seats? And then I started looking, and I'm like, the Daytona seats? No, sorry for anybody that has Daytona seats, but I just felt like I would be cheaping out.
Yeah.
On something that in my head is just beautiful.
Yeah, this is the pinnacle.
For me, this is it. People are like, well, what's next after this? I was like, I don't have another car that I want after this. This
is the end game.
This was it. Like we said, some people say this is the perfect Ferrari.
Yeah.
Well, I want other things. Yeah, sure, right? Like, give me a Puro Sangue in a couple of years.
Yeah.
The family Ferrari.
Right.
But as far as a sports car and a convertible, yeah, give me this and I'm happy. Would I like an 812 or another V12? Yes, right. Add to the collection. Have a naturally aspirated V8. Sure, you got to go with that because that's traditional Ferrari. But right now, this is all I need. So when we got in and started looking at how we could lay the red, the black, the white, we went with all red at first. I was like, ooh, okay, let's scale that back.
Yeah, because you see these.
And then
incredible.
We went to black up top. All right, that's a nice contrast. and then started playing with the different seats. And then with the full carbon fiber seats, that's where you get into the different inserts, like, and how you can change the colors and customize the colors of the inserts. So we just kept playing with everything, and then before we knew it, like, man, that's one badass color combo.
I love it.
So that's how you got the black insert, the white stripe, the red, the white stitching, and then we got into the white horse, and then carried the white stitching throughout the rest of the car. So, all right, well, what else can we do? Well, you know, Ferrari finally put in a few new features. Hey, you can do the tricolor on the buttons. Oh, okay, cool. You can do the tricolor on the shifters. It's like, that is a must.
All right.
And then when we were looking at the rendering of it, the car spun around and the driver's door popped open, and you were just looking at this, my, oh my God, I gotta have that. And then it was like a few other little things here and there. And then we finally settled on the Italian flag here. For me, if there's any one thing that really stands out when you're looking into the car from the outside, is this.
Yep, right at the top.
I think that in itself, just that little bit was enough. Then we carried the stitching onto the steering wheel, with the carbon fiber steering wheel, because I just wanted the shift indicator. I'm like, man, I'm building a car. Give me an F1 car.
Right.
And actually, I'll light it up for you. Give me 1 second. Yep. Let's make this turn. We're chilling. This is easy. Still like that. Yeah, man. Like all of this stuff just kind of came together. We looked at each other. That's a beautiful build.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, from top to bottom.
I went home. A month or two goes by, and I'm sitting on Facebook, and I see one. I see one for sale. I'm like, bro, this F8 resale is $600. Wow. Jumped in the car, drove to the dealership. Hey, is this real? Like, Cali? Yeah. What's the specs? I don't know. They're like, MSRP on that was probably around $500. I'm like, okay.
All right.
What's your current build price? I was at $360. They're like, we know this is going to sound a lot easier said than done, especially coming from the sales guys. But bump to $400.
Up the spec.
Like, come on. Like, you really wanted the Bianco Italia white instead of the flat whites. Yeah, they're like, just do it. 30 grand.
Wow. For the paint.
For just the paint. And then I don't remember where the other 10 went. So like some
there's somewhere there's $10,000
really
floating here.
I remember because it was, I had to have this. I had to have the passenger display, and I had to have the lift kit. Like, those were my requirements for the interior. I think we added like the JBL sound system.
Okay.
So the sound system's actually good, especially the top down.
Yeah.
And then like 1 or 2 other little things. So you pointed out all the carbon stuff.
Yep.
So before I knew it, all right, build price was $400, and that's where we landed.
I have an idea. Was the carbon ceramic brakes?
Oh, carbon ceramic brakes, they're not an option, but...
Oh, okay.
No. That is what you were getting.
Oh,
you don't have a choice.
Okay. I was going to say, because that will set you back, you know.
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
So what's funny is, right, like, in this being my first supercar, well, a lot of people don't know this is my first supercar. So when they see this, they're like...
How many do you have?
What did you have?
What did you get here? Did you buy a Roma? Did you buy a California?
This is my first one? What? And then the guys at Ferrari were telling me, like, nah, bro, like, this was special. Like, this was meant to be, because for you to have been a first-time Ferrari customer and to get
got this spec from the ground up,
that's special. Like, we didn't really say anything to you because we didn't want to like oversell and overhype it, but now that you have it, we think that you can appreciate it. Yeah, bro, like, this was, I'm not gonna say once in a lifetime, but this doesn't happen often. Oh, all right, cool. Right, and it just happened a couple weeks ago. So it's like, well, what else do you have? What did you have before this? This? You're like, damn, you just jumped in the deep end.
Right, went from the Ghibli.
You went.
You're giving me hope.
Like from the kiddie pool to Olympics.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So. But
very on brand.
I didn't know any better because there was nothing else that I wanted.
Right.
I didn't want a Vet. I didn't want a Porsche. I hadn't been a Lambo fan since the Countach and the Diablo. Maybe the Murcielago. That was about it.
Yeah, you get a Mercy SV.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been a Ferrari guy because for me, there's a refinement in Ferrari. I feel comfortable, and I think it looks appropriate for me to step out of this in suit and tie.
Yeah.
It looks weird getting out of a Lambo in suit and tie.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yep.
That's my personal opinion. Agree, disagree, whatever. But everywhere I go, people say this is a beautiful car. No one's like, oh man, like that's so over the top. It's crazy. Look at me.
No, it's not gaudy. It's not flexing.
This is refined.
Yes.
It's a beautiful machine, and I couldn't ask for anything more in terms of a reflection of me in a car, because it can be quiet, it can be tame, and you see right now we're chilling. This is comfortable. Try and drive, in a Huracan or an Aventador slow.
Right. The transmission will not let you.
It's not comfortable.
Yep, exactly.
Like, it's obnoxious. I can't even do it. I can't even fake it. This is so smooth. So that's the reason why I ended up with this car, right? Just so many things go into the story. Right? Even since I've had it, just being able to drive it and almost getting back into that motorcycle racing mode. It's kind of like when you asked me earlier, hey, when did you really feel comfortable with pushing this car? I was like, almost from the time that I got it. One, because they told me, hey, that first 40 miles, your car's already been beat to hell.
They track it
on the track. It comes off the line and onto the track. That's how they test it. So you're not going to do anything that they haven't done already.
Yeah, no break-in period.
Understood. So let's get it. Let's go. All right, so what did you guys think with our time with the F8 Spider today? Did you have as much fun as I did, or that we did? Make sure you guys go check out Normal Guy Super Life on Instagram. I will drop his link down in the description below. Big shout out to him for letting me take a look around this and go for a spin. And with that said, what was your favorite part about this spec, about this livery, and what he did to spec out this F8 Spider? Because I am a sucker for white exterior, red interior. Now, I don't want to just break it down to just that, but my last Ghibli, white with red. So this is one that it pulls in my heartstrings. And then it's a Ferrari at the top of that. So with that said, let me know what your favorite thing about the spec is down below. And if you guys want to help further support the channel, check the links in the description. Make sure you guys subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of these videos. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.